This is the QTV Net News, which is also on Q Radio 103.3 FM, and I am Jacqueline Coley. Thank you for joining us. Here are the headlines. The National Assembly member for Latrikunda Sabuji constituency, Yaya Menteng Sanyang, today tabled a matter of the day, describing the prolonged power outages as an economic and social emergency that is crippling businesses and disrupting daily lives. According to NAWEC and Ministry of Information, the disruptions to the power supply as discussed by NAMS in our first headline are due to technical reasons and regional factors. However, the Executive Director of Gambia Participates alleged at a press conference that the public are not being told the truth about the current electricity crisis. Students, diplomats and development partners gathered at Charles John Memorial Academy in Bundung for a cultural exchange event organized by the Chinese Embassy in the Gambia to commemorate the International Day for Dialogue Among Civilizations. A team flying the Gambia's flag is among dozens of young innovators competing at the 2026 ECOWAS Regional Hackathon currently underway in Accra, Ghana. The four-day event has brought together cybersecurity talents from across West Africa to develop practical solutions to emerging digital threats and strengthen regional cyber resilience. Those were the headlines, now the news in detail. The National Assembly member for Latrikunda Sabuji constituency, Yaya Menteng Sanyang, today tabled a matter of the day, describing the prolonged power outages as an economic and social emergency that is crippling businesses and disrupting daily lives. The motion drew mixed reactions from lawmakers as concerns continue to mount over the reliability of electricity supply nationwide. Alusisa reports.
The ongoing electricity supply crisis took center stage at the National Assembly, where the Honorable Yaya Menteng Sanyang of Latrikunda Sabuji called on the government to urgently address what he described as a preventable national disaster.
This is no longer a mere inconvenience. It is a full-blown economic and social emergency. Honorable Speaker, our small and medium-sized enterprises, the lifeblood of our economy, are collapsing. Tailors, mechanics, hairdressers, and corner shop owners are watching their livelihoods evaporate because they cannot power their businesses.
He argued that the current situation stems from years of inadequate investment in domestic electricity generation.
This crisis is the direct result of this government's chronic lack of investment in our domestic energy sector. For years, Honorable Speaker, this administration has neglected local generation capacity at facilities like Kotu and Brikama.
While authorities have attributed the crisis to a reduction in regional power imports and challenges in sourcing critical spare parts, Honorable Sanyang maintained that the country's over-reliance on imported electricity has exposed the country to avoidable vulnerabilities. The motion generated mixed reactions from members across the political divide, with lawmakers contributing varying perspectives on the causes of the crisis and the measures required addressing it. Among those who took part in the debate were Jibin Balo of Lower Fuladu West, Bakari Kebaji of Fonyi Bintang, Lamin Sise of Kiang West, Swaibu Ture of Wuli East, Alaji S. Dabo of Brikama North, Bileji Tungara of Kantora, and Almame Jiba of Fonyi Kansala.
Let's accept that as Gambian, this is a problem. But let us not come and use political gimmicks in this house.
Now, when we said we are not having correct supply with NAWEC, that is the reality, and that's what we face as a nation, and this we must accept.
Honorable Speaker, this is a total management failure. This is a total management failure. This is the reality.
Just yesterday I was called to say that Fatoto and all that area does not have electricity. And that's in Kantora, where our majority leader comes from.
Any second without electricity is again the position of the president, the principle and slogan of the president. So if it is 2 weeks, Gambians are without electricity, is entirely against the position of the president. Baro Bukut, let them, and Gambian Bukut, let them.
It's very misleading for one to stand in this hollow chamber saying that the government did not invest in this sector. That's misleading. Honorable Speaker, we took this country from 25 megawatts to 80 megawatts. So that is an improved trajectory in terms of providing assistance supply.
The losses of commodities of the Gambian people. Two, is an example as I'm speaking. I think NAWEC is also gone. So you see, these are the realities that are in the ground.
As power outages continue to affect homes and businesses, it is hoped that the government will continue to push efforts to address the crisis. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
According to NAWEC and the Ministry of Information, the disruptions to the power supply discussed by NAMS are due to technical reasons and regional factors. However, Mar Nyang, the Executive Director of Gambia Participates, alleged at a press conference that the public are not being told the truth about the current electricity crisis. Here is an excerpt.
All the public statements that is given by the government that this is mere technical problem is not a mere technical problem. This is utter result of negligence and corruption. Not an allegation, but proven utter negligence and corruption. At least if it's coming from civil society, they will say these are just noisemakers. If it's coming from you, the journalists, they will just say these are oppositions. This is not coming from me. It's not coming from media. This is coming from the State-Owned Enterprises Commission that was established by this administration to regulate or to exercise oversight on the state-owned enterprises in this country. In 2024, the SOE Commission, I believe in June, July 2024, the SOE Commission went out for an inspection at NAWEC. And you know what they have reported in their report? That NAWEC is heavily dependent on independent power producers. At least 85% of the electricity we consume is coming from these IPPs. While we are depending on these IPPs, the generators at Kotu Power Station and others are, number one, not maintenance out of negligence. Others are being maintenance. I want to talk about the ones that are not maintenance at all, while we were heavily depending on the IPPs. Basically, the IPPs are doing the dirty job for you. Now, because of you having electricity supply, you fold your hands, doing the lazy job. If those generators were maintenance, as they were supposed to be maintenance, to keep them active and operational, and if they were replaced during the time at which electricity was being reasonably stable. Electricity has never been stable in this country.
Students, diplomats and development partners gathered at Charles John Memorial Academy in Bundung for a cultural exchange event organized by the Chinese Embassy in the Gambia to commemorate the International Day for Dialogue Among Civilizations. Julden Jai reports.
The event brought together representatives of the Chinese Embassy, the United Nations Office in the Gambia and the University of the Gambia to celebrate cultural diversity and international cooperation. Through cultural presentations, discussions and artistic performances, participants explored the importance of dialogue in fostering understanding and strengthening ties among people from different cultures and backgrounds. Students were among the key beneficiaries of the event, gaining valuable exposure to different cultures while engaging with diplomats and development professionals. Zhao Sangsen, Deputy Head of Mission at the Chinese Embassy of the People's Republic of China in the Gambia, expressed delight at being part of the celebration and emphasized the importance of dialogue in building stronger relationships among nations.
In 2023, Chinese President Xi Jinping put forward the Global Civilization Initiative, highlighting the need of the civilization to live together in harmony. The International Day of Dialogue Among Civilizations, which was designated on June 10th each year, established by the United Nations in keeping with the GCI, has been warmly welcomed by the international community. The Chinese civilization, spanning 5,000 years, is noted for its continuity creativity, unity, inclusiveness, and peacefulness. Likewise, from my interactions with friends of the Gambia, I found these are the same qualities, these are the same temperament of the great people of the smiling coast of Africa.
Carl Frederick Paul, United Nations Resident Coordinator, said the day serves as a reminder that diversity is a source of strength, learning, and shared progress.
So today's program has brought this message to life in a very tangible way. To the classroom exchange that I've witnessed, to the Chinese calligraphy that I've tried, also to the lantern making, the Gambian traditional dance, and the friendship bantaba, we have witnessed young people, the cultures, and also building bridges of understanding. This International Day is a call to action, a call to listen, to speak, and to connect. It is a call to choose dialogue, respect, and cooperation.
Student representatives also addressed the gathering, sharing their perspectives on cultural understanding and the value of learning from people with different traditions and experiences. As the event concluded, participants left with a renewed appreciation for cultural diversity and the vital role dialogue plays in building trust, friendship, and a more inclusive society. Reporting for QTV News, I am Julde Njai.
We will now go for a commercial break. When we return, we have more national and sports news stories, to stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching QTV News and I'm Jacqueline Coley. Here are the rest of tonight's stories. One of the teams flying the Gambia's flag is among dozens of young innovators competing at the 2026 ECOWAS Regional Hackathon currently on the way in Accra, Ghana. The four-day event has brought together cybersecurity talent from across West Africa to develop practical solutions to emerging digital threats and strengthen regional cyber resilience. This report is by Adedrame and narrated by myself. Organized by the ECOWAS Commission in partnership with Ghana's Cybersecurity Authority, the competition is also providing a platform for collaboration, innovation, and skills development among the region's next generation of cyber experts. Young innovators from 12 ECOWAS member states have converged on Ghana's capital, Accra, for the 4th edition of the ECOWAS Regional Hackathon. Hosted by Ghana's Cybersecurity Authority, the event aims to identify and nurture emerging cybersecurity talent while helping to build a stronger regional workforce capable of responding to increasingly complex cyber threats. Over the next 48 hours, participants will design practical and scalable solutions to challenges ranging from cybercrime and online fraud to the protection of critical digital infrastructure. Addressing the opening ceremony, Honorable Samuel Nate George, Ghana's Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, urged participants to think beyond the competition.
Build well, build securely, and show us what Africa's next generation of digital defenders can do.
The minister noted that as digital transformation accelerates across West Africa, stronger cybersecurity systems will be essential to safeguarding economies, institutions, and citizens. Officials say the success of cybersecurity efforts ultimately depends on people with the skills, creativity, and ethical commitment to respond to evolving threats. Here is Stephen Kujo Shashi, the Deputy Director General with Ghana's Cybersecurity Authority.
Across West Africa, digital transformation is accelerating, driving innovation, expanding access, and powering economic growth. But at the same time, it is exposing us to increasingly sophisticated cybersecurity threats.
The ECOWAS Commission says the hackathon continues to grow in both scale and impact. Folake Olagunju is the ECOWAS Director for Digital Economy and Post.
Diversity makes us stronger, and a resilient digital future is one that can only be built if every single person has a seat on the table. So inclusion is not just about women, It's also about people living with disabilities. We need to figure out how to bring them on board as well.
This year's event began with a women-only competition, highlighting efforts to encourage greater female participation in technology, innovation, and digital entrepreneurship. Among the participants is Miss Lady de Oliveira from Cabo Verde, taking part in her first regional hackathon.
We would just want to learn and to have fun also, and also know the country a little bit.
Representing the Gambia is Dominic Bass, who says the event offers a valuable opportunity to exchange ideas and build partnerships across borders.
Well, new challenges, new learning opportunities, getting to know stuff day by day, yeah.
The competition is expected to be intense, with teams determined to showcase their skills and bring home the top prize. Ghana-based Jennifer Ose-Sewa spoke of her team's hope too.
Just want to learn, meet the other teams, learn from them as well, and just have fun.
Actually, my expectation for the hackathon is very wide, and we aim to achieve a lot this year, and we wish to win this year.
Beyond the competition, organizers say the hackathon is helping to build networks, encourage innovation, and strengthen regional cooperation in cybersecurity. As teams race against the clock in Accra, the event is showcasing a new generation of West African innovators working together to create a safer and more secure digital future. Reporting for QTV News, I am Jacqueline Goli. Gambia participates a civil society organization focused on anti-corruption, fiscal transparency, and other matters held a press conference addressing the delay in establishing an anti-corruption commission and the current state of electricity in the Gambia. Executive Director of Gambia Participates, Mar Nyang, says there are multiple examples of government's lack of political will to fight corruption. Here is an EPSAT.
The reason why Gambia does not have an active anti-corruption commission is because the office of the president has not done what it ought to do. They have not also come out to the public and informed the public why the delay. So about 6 months now, we've had nothing from the office of the president. They could come and say, oh, we have processes and procedures, blah, blah, blah. But corrupt people also have their processes and procedures. And it seems as if their processes and procedures outsmart that of the government process and procedures. Because every single day, there are massive corruption scandals happening in this country that goes unaddressed. And let me take you on a time machine to look at the state of corruption in this country. A commission was established to investigate corruption between 1994 or 1994 to 2017. Reports were given, recommendations were given. Selective justice has been seen in the implementation of that government white paper. Number two, the assets that were allegedly forfeited on the basis of corruption were equally disposed of through corrupt means. This is not an allegation. This is proven by the National Assembly. This is proven by investigative journalists.
Red Star Academy emerged champions of the Sukuta Juniors Nawetan Competition 2026, defeating Kaira Football Academy 1-0 in a final played at the Sukuta Dembadu football field. Momodu Gajaka has the details.
Thank you very much, Papa.
Sukuta in the Kombo North District, West Coast region, staged yet another exciting junior Nawetan football competition featuring 24 teams, with Red Star Academy and Kaira Football Academy making it through to the final. In a highly competitive game, Red Star Football Academy dominated with their possession, creativity and attacking intensity. However, it was not one-way traffic, and Kaira Football Academy had some spells of possession. Red Star Academy's sustained attacks eventually broke the deadlock on the half-hour mark, supremely through an own goal. This is how Pabi Silla, coach of Red Star Academy, reacted to the victory.
This is what we want. Any competition we go, we still keep improving always. So this is our fourth final we have played. We lose 3. This is our first trophy to win. I will say alhamdulillah.
Kaira Football Academy became more adventurous in their play after conceding and responded with high-intensity football. This almost paid off as they came close to scoring on several occasions. But the resolute defense of Red Star stood firm as they could not equalize. Ibrahima Bojang, coach of Kaira Football Academy, says he lost the final because of missed chances. We tried everything possible to score, but unfortunately, we couldn't get back on terms. However, I am proud of the performance of my boys. The Sukuta Juniors Nawetan founder, Pa Usman Sanyang, says he is a passionate football fan who wants to see football develop, especially through grassroots programs. When I initiated this competition in 2022, I thought it was going to be small. It has grown from 12 to 16 to now 24 teams compete in the Sukuta Juniors Nawetan. I am feeling so elated and satisfied with the way the tournament is growing. The Sukuta Junior Nawetan is not just a tournament. For these young players, it is a showcase and a chance to prove that academy football can produce the next generation of stars.
Mamudu
Gajaga, QTV News.
We will bring you our take on the rest of Africa's representatives as the week goes on. And before we end the news, here's a recap of the headlines. The National Assembly member for Latrikunda's Sabuji constituency, Yaya Menteng Sanyang, today tabled a matter of the day, describing the prolonged power outages as an economic and social emergency that is crippling businesses and disrupting daily lives. According to NAWEC and Ministry of Information, the disruptions to the power supply, as discussed by NAMS in our first headline, are due to technical reasons and regional factors. However, the Executive Director of Gambia Participates alleged at a press conference that the public are not being told the truth about the current electricity crisis. Students, diplomats and development partners gathered at Charles Jar Memorial Academy in Bundung for a cultural exchange event organized by the Chinese Embassy in the Gambia to commemorate the International Day for Dialogue Among Civilizations. A theme flying the Gambia's flag is among dozens of young innovators competing at the 2026 ECOWAS Regional Hackathon, currently underway in Accra, Ghana. The four-day event has brought together cybersecurity talents from across West Africa to develop practical solutions to emerging digital threats and strengthen regional cyber resilience. That's all for this bulletin. You can join us again tonight at 10 p.m. for another bulletin. Thanks for watching.